Hey guys, Dr. Dusa here. How are you? Thank you so much for attending the podcast. We've been having a lot of fun and getting really big time world level experts and people who succeed at very high levels on to disseminate information and tell us what they do to live lives less ordinary. Excuse me, very, very sorry. Drinking water today, flavored water, and this is topical. It's interesting that I need this right now. There's a group of people have been pointing out that, hey, Dr. Deuce is all about longevity. His business is longevity. Why is he drinking soda on the podcast, kind of on a regular basis? That's a very good question. And first, I want to thank you for joining the podcast and putting your questions in. We already have a couple here. I'll attend to them in a second. I'd like you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's MTFU Longevity, MTFU Longevity. Subscribe. Because the more subscribers we have, the more far afield our message goes, the more people we can affect and change and deliver messages to. You won't be spammed. You won't be sent anything. It's just helping out by clicking a little button on it to subscribe. And we can increase our sphere of influence, which is always a good thing, making our area stronger and better. Thank you for that. Tomorrow, Powerhouse is opening, Powerhouse Gym. Finally, I'm going to start working out again. Yes, I stopped working out totally for 3 months right around now. It's almost exactly 3 months. Why? Because I just did. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not always chariots of fires. I was planning on taking a little time off anyhow. The rules they have in there now, I hear that if you're good, you don't have to wear a mask, but that means you have to stay. Hi, Betty, how are you? You have to stay 12 feet away. If you wear a mask, 6 feet. You got to clean the machine before and after. You know, that's kind of one of those things that we hopefully do anyway. So we'll see how that works out. I'm going to go in the morning when there's not as many people. Got to start training again, man. I know I'm at my best when I'm at my best shape. I'm happier. I make more money. I have better relationships. I put out better information. Things. It's always sunny here in New Haven County, just like that show, Philadelphia or whatever. That may not be true, but sometimes I take the actor at a chiropractor and I pretend because it gets me through the day. So anyway, soda. Listen, people pointed out, kind of called me out on drinking soda, and I'm sitting here drinking soda. Today I have, Denise is really fond of Propel water, and it's got flavoring, and you know, I can't even read the label because it's kind of light and it's transparent and I just can't see it. And supposedly it's 0 calories and whatnot. It's water, but it's got that flavoring, and to me it tastes a little syrupy, a little thicker than water or something, kind of like when you eat chicken these days and it tastes a little rubbery, like they're doing something with it and you're not quite sure. So listen, generally I drink water from the tap because I do, and it's unadulterated. It's not put in a bottle, PCBs, quotation marks, by a human. I'd rather have direct acquirement and put into my mouth, into my body, with me, the only one involved. I don't want a second or third party producing it. Try to stay as close to that as possible. But soda, okay, Dr. Deuce is drinking soda. How dare he? Now listen, I've told you many times, if you sleep 8 hours a night, you probably haven't had a lot of water. That's good, Betty. I'm happy. And I know you battle things as we all do. The world is harsh, but I'm glad you're always with us not because it's you, but because you help animals. You help many, many animals, and that's a good thing. I love animals, sometimes more than humans. But anyway, going back to soda, this nefarious soda, this soda that goes in, you can pour it on the chrome and it'll take the rust off. It's like little Pac-Man heads going in and eating all the healthy elements of your innards. Is this what happens? I don't know. Listen, somebody chimed in and said that drinking all those sodas will turn your brain to mush. All right. Is that a clinical description? Is that, if we were to do a pathological study and maybe take the top of the skull off and section the brain and look at what's going on, would we actually find mush? I don't think so. I think that's listen, we're all friends and I embrace these folks and they're kind of half joking. But I've got to say that, it's kind of irresponsible. It's kind of saber rattling, and that scares people when you say things like that. Okay. Maybe not everyone, but enough people. Somebody might see that and they keep it in their head, when they see soda, that turns your brain to mush. I don't know if that's true. Okay. Is it good? That's a relative question. It's very hard in relation to what? Okay. I'm going to talk about beer and smoking too. It's not just about soda. Hi, Ty. How are you? So anyway, Sean Morrissey chimed in. Let's see what Sean is saying. Good that you're not only talking about water on your water on camera, then diet soda. I think what Sean means is it's good that I'm not only drinking water on here and then I'm kind of drinking soda on the side. Listen, that's a huge point, and that's kind of what I'm all about. I drink soda on here because it's what I do. I'd be drinking it anyhow. So I'm not going to hide it and only drink water in front of you. That means I'm a snake oil salesman. I'm full of crap. Haven't you had enough of that? I work hard at being authentic. Because aren't you looking for something real, somebody who's not going to lie to you for a change? I tell you exactly what I do. And sometimes it's incongruent with your own truth or what's good for you because we're different. We don't do cookie cutter. Every 7+ billion physio good input. I need your input, folks, too, just so I can bounce things back and forth. You know a lot of things that I don't know. And that's how it works. We fill gaps. Yo, like Stallone. I heard Dr. Drew say in regards to drinking Diet Coke, it's not bad for you, but not good for you, like having sex with a prostitute. I would have read that anyhow, even if I didn't read it beforehand. Yeah, the heck with it. You know, as far as cheating on your spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend, don't do it. I have never heard of anybody 2 years later saying, hey, man, that was a good move. It always ends up being a bad move, and that's just a little bit of tangent. That's because of you, Ty, talking about prostitutes there. What's wrong with you? Hope my mother's not watching. Anyway, as far as soda goes, and what you do for yourself, listen, like I was saying, I sleep all night. I wake up, I have a liter of water. I have to have a certain amount of water every single day. I try to do about a gallon. You know, one of the indices I follow, take your body weight. I'm about 200 right now, and no, I'm not 188, my best weight, a little above that. And I cut that number in half, and I try to get 100 ounces a day. And that seems to work for me. I don't know if you'd find that in a medical journal, in a study or whatever, where that's what you need in order to, you know, see visions and be able to be Superman and all that. I don't know. That works for me. But anything that gets in the way of me drinking that 100 ounces is a bad thing. So when I drink soda, I'll have about 2 cans a day. I've done more. That's impugning the amount of water I'm drinking, and that's bad. Because listen, understand something. Just because you're drinking a liquid, i.e. soda, coffee, hot chocolate, eggnog, martinis, what's that really bad shot that I had once by accident and I thought I was going to die? I was in a bar and my girlfriend dumped me in professional school, and I was crying. I was crying in a bar with my friends. And oh, I'll never get over it. She left me, this and that. So a waitress was walking by and she had a tray of shot glasses, and I just grabbed one. It was tequila, and I downed it. I thought it was water. I didn't know what I was thinking. Boy, let me tell you, I found myself in a vacant apartment that night, naked in a dark room, vomiting into a bucket, asking Jesus to take me. So you're drinking stuff. But again, you can't expect to drink these things in place of water, and it's going to kind of do the things that water do. It does. It doesn't work that way. So you got to get your water in. So it's a lot like, you know, working with clients, patients. I learned from my mentors, you know, young guy, and I'm going out and I'm like, hey, we're going to a restaurant. Can I eat this stuff? Well, Mike, as long as you eat the good stuff first, you know, make sure you eat some protein before you go. And that's going to affect the satiety center. You're not going to be as hungry for junk. You go to the restaurant, you have a good time. Have a good time. Drink the soda. Live your life. I'm not going to be on here telling you I never do this, that, ABC, knick-knack, paddywhack. I'm never going to be on here telling you that, because that's a lie. And then you're going to be traversing the tangent of fear every day. You're going to be on your program, and you're going to be doing everything exactly. You're going to be like that patient I had, counting the flakes of oats off the scale so you have the exact number of grams, and then you're going to go nuts and spontaneously combust and kill everyone in your family and say screw it and become even fatter than you were. And that's hopefully not going to happen. But you know what I mean? You got to ease into things. You can't worry about things, and you got to find out what works for you. And I get people sometimes, you know, cite the study, cite the study. You know, there's a certain type of person I have found when that's their first line of the first thing. They don't even try to digest the new information. You can tell the message is really being delivered that they don't agree. So they want to find a study that refutes it. I want to know who's doing the study. Listen, I've had some top scientists on the podcast, as you've seen. I've had Will Brink, Ray Hanjalali. I've had attorney Rick Collins. They're in this industry, and they're suspect of studies. Okay, who's paying for it? Is there investigator bias? Are they putting forth truths, but they're cherry picking them and leaving some truths out? to define a certain narrative, to direct you to a certain aisle in the store to buy some garbage. All right, find out what's best for you. So soda, yeah, I do drink it. I like Diet Coke, and if that's not there, I have Diet Pepsi. And listen, I'll read from the list. The 5 bad things about soda. Okay, a study in Switzerland. They use the word should, could, would, maybe, perhaps. They're qualifiers. Listen, I don't languish on the corner of would, could, should Boulevard because it's dangerous. I only go with action, what I know. Somebody said, hey, so you believe? I go, you know what? I really work hard at what I know. Reproducible results. Believe is, to me, for ghosts. Maybe they're there, maybe they're not. I'm kind of afraid of the dark. That night light's all over the house. Why am I afraid of the dark? Because I can't see in it. All right, so 2 sodas a day or more. This is a study done in Switzerland. 23% of the men, in this study, they didn't say the amount of time they drank this stuff for, increases the risk of heart failure. Now, it's very scary. All right, I don't know about these men. Did they have a genetic encodement to have heart problems anyhow? A lot of other things you got to look at. Remember that cherry picking. I'm not saying this is right or wrong. I'm just telling you what's out there. Okay. And it's a lot like someone here said. Ty Clifton was saying. I used to tell when I was a respiratory therapist, and I got my bachelor's in that, and I worked in it while I was in college in professional school. And I probably talked a little too much to the patients. I was a young guy, and I thought I knew the deal, just like I do today. And every single patient I ever talked to who was dying from lung dysfunction, born from cigarette smoking, I always asked them, why did you smoke? They wish they didn't, this and that. Even when I got into practice, I had to be fair with people. I didn't want to come down on them. I'm not a pulmonologist, so I wouldn't really. I would tell them about cigarettes. I go, well, they're not good and they're not bad. You'd have to find out what they are for you. So I'm not casting judgment on anybody as far as what they do. What are you all about? What's your goal? It is what you're doing for yourself and to yourself conducive to the goal, right? If you're a long distance runner, smoking ain't gonna help, right? And I know that's kind of esoteric, but that's how I roll. Another thing you could develop just from drinking, this is diet soda now, not the sugary type. Metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is marked by a host of different dysfunctions, usually in a middle-aged male. You can kind of point out just by looking at them. A host of maladies leading to heart disease and stroke potentially. They didn't make the connection as to how this maybe the people also happen to be drinking Diet Coke and they're in this group and they have these other things causing it. Again, let's not cherry pick. Kidneys. Kidney decrease. A study was done. A group of women, the diet soda does have high sodium, drank over time, can tax the kidneys, and you have a decrease in kidney function. Now listen, normally for the average human on this planet, as they go through life, as you get older, the kidneys work at a lower function. Oftentimes after the age of 65, your kidneys can be decreased in function. They're still functioning, still helping you, still filtrating, but they may be working at only between 20 and 50% less function. It's just something that happens. Your body is always running. Your heart beats billions of times, but it wears down. It's like never turning your car off for the life of your car. Things are going to wear down. They're not going to run as well. You need some replacement parts. We really can't do that in the body, maybe with some things. So can we attribute this to soda? I'm not sure. I don't know. Case-by-case basis, perhaps. And waist circumference. I know my gut's pretty big right now, but that happens anyway. As you get older, your waist is just, even when I'm in shape, it's bigger than when I was younger. But the sugar aspartame tricks the area in the brain. The satiety center tells you you're no longer hungry. It makes you keep eating. And it affects your insulin sensitivity, where you'll shuttle more of the calories into the fat cells. And that can happen because aspartame, flavored water, aspartame makes your body think you're drinking something sweet, i.e. sugar, and that's what your body thinks. So you got to be, I'm mindful of that. And I have good self-control because it's what I do, and I've been a bodybuilder, and I've had to have success from eating styles and things like that. So being mindful is very important. Knowing what you're doing, cause and effect. And as far as drinking, listen, the people who are posting on here, Doc's drinking soda, this is no good, he's all about longevity, what's wrong with him, this is crazy, blah, blah, blah. Excuse me. I was joking with them. They're good people, and they were kind of, tongue-in-cheek. And I said something, I said, like that guy from The Hangover says, but did I die? No. I got a little more serious and said, I've never had a beer. And the story behind that is Mike Katz was my mentor growing up, Mr. Universe. He used to drive me to bodybuilding camp when I was 15. And I asked him very pointedly, I said, Mike, how can I become Mr. Universe like you? And some of you have heard this story, but it's still relevant. And he gave me a good answer. He says, stay in school, work hard, don't go on the errand path, don't do graffiti, be good to your parents. I'm kind of paraphrasing a little. Then he said, don't go to those damn keg parties, don't drink beer, it's not going to help you. So that's stuck in my head. And when I finally discovered that I wasn't going to win Mr. Universe, Mr. America, or even a regional show, and I was in my college dorm, and I had painted on a wall the number 240, because I want to weigh 240 pounds. And when I discovered I couldn't make that number, I changed the 4 to a 2. It was 220. I did get the 220, but I was a fatty. Okay, might have thought I was kind of buff and whatnot, but no, I was fat. Not meant to. I still didn't drink beer, because that was Mike's decree, and I figured out you would figure out he's not going to make the goal, so you might as well start drinking beer. But I thought it was kind of cool, and I never drank beer, and I've never had a beer. It was just one of those things, like I said to the people smoking. No, it's not good. It's not bad. It's just not something I consider doing, because that's a relative statement. Maybe you go to a party once in a while, you're celebrating, have a beer. But it's to drink versus being a drinker. Same thing with soda. Same thing with smoking. My associate and I, when I opened my first practice, listen, it was touch and go. Business is very hard. It's always very hard. Just because you have DR in front of your name doesn't mean you're going to be successful. So every month that we get through business, we go on the porch in the back of the building, and there was a highway running in the back, and we'd smoke a cigar. Arnold did it. And so that was our celebration. We made it, paid all the bills, got enough left for a cheese sandwich. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't eat cheese. That's a problem. But still, smoke a cigar. So I would smoke, but I'm not a smoker. You see, there's a difference. I say that about alcohol in general. If you're a drinker and it affects other people, you're a drinker. Drink once in a while. I'll have a martini maybe several times a year. It's about it, some white wine. Denise does the red. And she's like, send me back to Italy. I says, I'll take you there. We'll go again. Okay? Be better the next time. Last time I went, it was like a posing thing. I wanted to pose at the Coliseum and the Trevi Fountains. A little bit of misdirection. It was fun. But in any event, getting back to that, it's very important to organize what you're doing and know what's going into your body. So as far as the soda goes, for me, diet soda, yeah, I drink it on here because it's what I do. And it has nothing to do with longevity. I've told you this. I get my blood panels done. My body is my business. I like numbers. I like to know where I am. I like to do something. I like to be able to affect change in my body, just like some of the top guys here say. They're artists. They're not athletes. They call themselves artists. They're carving their body into something, and every year it changes. And it's not necessarily bad. Sometimes they're better in a different way. We age without getting old. So I look at my panel numbers every quarter, and let's say my growth hormone, my testosterone levels are a little lower. I want them back to where they were, so I'll adjust things that I do, things that I eat, sleeping patterns, things like that. I'll look back, I always write down every day what I'm doing, and I'll look back at what I've done. Seasonally, things change. I train seasonally, 4 different seasons. My training, my eating is different. My activity levels, things like that. So you got to be mindful of all these things. And before you just say, oh, he's drinking soda, that's no good. Well, listen, it's been proven that too much can remove some of the enamel from your teeth. It can cause some of these other dyscrasias that I've gone over. But, what's too much? You got to figure out if that's all you're drinking and you're doing a case a day or some crazy stuff, that's extreme. That's excessive. But I'm not here to profile or impress upon. You just get me. This is what I do. Some guy was attacking me the other day, and that I should be embarrassed about the things that I put up, and I don't have any muscle. And all. Listen, whenever you get that stuff, it still stings a little bit, but I think that's a good thing, because I'm not here to impress anybody. I'm not. Listen, comparison is a thief of joy. All right. I'm doing something that may not be good for you. I'm not that big. I'm not that muscular. I can gain muscle. Muscles have memory, maybe might have amnesia. But listen, starting training tomorrow, I usually train for my birthday. This ties into the soda, because am I drinking too much soda? Am I not drinking enough water? I'm not going to be as good. The muscles aren't going to be as full and round. I'm not going to be as strong. I'm not going to feel as good. I'm not going to be as alert if I'm not drinking enough water. I know that because I've done that. I've done crazy stuff. In the 80s, we used to not drink water for 3 days before a show, or some crazy stuff. I'm not exaggerating. Okay, very unhealthy things we did. Good thing I lived through it. I brokered for some good information on what not to do. But as far as you could attack me, that's fine, because I work on winning people over, no matter how bad or you come across. because I want everybody in my sphere of influence to be strong, smart, and doing what's best for them. Because then they get paid for a little, and then everything that I come in contact with is good, and there's happiness, and people are strong. And I'm glad you told me that, Dr. Dusa, because it really helped me. Why do I want all this negative crap? It produces poisons in your mind and sadness and unhappiness. And I listen, enough of that. So that's all I have to say about that. Again, I only tell you exactly what I do and why I'm doing it and what's best for me. I've discovered long ago what's best for me. I'm still working on it. I'm sure every 5 years there's a major shift in my thinking and what I do for me. So maybe when I hit 60, I'll be 57 in 10 weeks. When I hit 60, not just because of the number and the bell tolling, it might be time to, my body might be receptive to different stimuli and different nutritional equivalents. But that's all I have to say. You know, soda, drink your soda if you want it. Don't don't be a drinker of soda, but drink it occasionally. Don't drink it every single meal, every single day. What's this right here? We got another one. Robert Thompson. Hey, Robert, thanks for your questions yesterday. Topo Chico mineral water. Uh-oh, is this an ad? Very refreshing. I have outgrown beer and pop. You must be from the Midwest. That's what they call soda in the Midwest, pop. Drop weight when I quit beer. Ain't you kidding? And you know what, Robert? I wouldn't tell you ever to stop drinking beer. Just drink beer to the frequency and amount that allows you to reduce your waste. There's an inverse relationship with that. You know, think about that. That's all. And so that question goes out the window. Is beer good? Is it okay if I drink beer? You can do anything you want. I'm not going to say I don't care. I don't like that sentence. I always care. But does it matter to me? No, but it should matter to you. And what allows you to reduce your waste? Maybe you're drinking 6 beers a day, 42 beers a week. Maybe you cut that down to 12 beers. I guarantee you'll improve. You may not have as much boisterous revelry with the friends and the fellas, but you know what? Once you clear your head of the alcohol, life improves. You know, people, they come down about the soda. Why isn't anybody attacking alcohol when you think about it? You know, beer is alcohol. Kills hundreds of thousands of people a year. Ruins lives, families. Destroys children. Wrecks mental landscapes. Turns minds into veritable battlefields. You become comfortably numb in a stagnated funk, anesthetized through life, not knowing what the hell's going on until you wake up in your twilight years, realize 100 years went by just like that. You didn't do anything that you wanted because you were always, you know, tossing them down. And that's a little extreme. But maybe I'll have a martini tonight. I don't know. Thanks. That's all I wanted to say because some people were asking about the soda. Yeah. Some people are stridently, soda is so bad. Listen. You know, cancer is so bad. Childhood starvation, kids going to bed hungry is bad. People being alone and lonely is ruinous. That's bad. We should seek those instances out and try to make corrections. Soda, you're at a birthday party, drink the soda. You know, guzzle the soda down. Just don't do it every day. That's it. You have a great day. Tonight I have at 6 p.m. Carlo Filippone. He owns one of the top meal prep companies in the country, and we're going to talk to him about what he thinks about nutritional equivalents because he's also a top bodybuilder. He was national champion, so there's a lot of relevance there as far as eating and what he suggests and what he thinks. It may be different. Thanks, Betty. Hope this information was helpful. It's really important because listen. Being very good at what he does is not all about just making food look good and putting it in a bunch of containers and hoping a bunch of people come by and buy his stuff. He's selling himself. He's in top shape. He always has been. So people want a little bit of what he does, not everything, because they're not him. They want to extract, they want to cherry pick, and he offers that. So we're going to bring the soda up versus the water versus chicken versus your taste buds exploding with joy. Have a great day. See you tonight. And make sure you do subscribe to MTFU Longevity on YouTube. I do thank you, and onward.